Welcome to my channel. Today we will watch and listen to the full documentary about Titanic, the ship of dreams, a true story. In the early hours of April 10th, 1912, a ship hailed as the marvel of human engineering slipped beneath the icy waters of the North Atlantic. Over 1,500 souls perished. This is the story of the Titanic, a tale of ambition, tragedy, and the enduring legacy of a ship that was never meant to sink. At the dawn of the 20th century, the world was changing. Industry, wealth, and technology were advancing rapidly. In the bustling shipyards of Belfast, Northern Ireland, the White Star Line commissioned the construction of 3 Olympic-class ocean liners: Olympic, Britannic, and the most famous of all, Titanic. Titanic was designed by Chief Engineer Thomas Andrews, built by Harland and Wolff, and financed under the vision of J. Bruce Ismay, managing director of the White Star Line. Construction began in 1909, involving more than 3,000 workers. After 3 years, Titanic emerged, 882 feet long, 175 feet tall, and weighing 46,000 tons. She was the largest and most luxurious passenger ship the world had ever seen. Titanic was a floating palace. First-class passengers enjoyed amenities never before seen at sea: a squash court, swimming pool, Turkish baths, and grand staircases. Even third class or steerage was cleaner and safer than many other ships. Engineers boasted that Titanic was practically unsinkable thanks to its 16 watertight compartments. It was a triumph of human innovation, but behind the glamour lay a fatal flaw: hubris. On April 10th, 1912, Titanic set sail from Southampton, England, bound for New York City. It carried 2,224 people, a mix of wealthy elites, hopeful immigrants, and a dedicated crew. Among the famous passengers, American millionaire John Jacob Astor IV, industrialist Benjamin Gou, fashion designer Lady Duff Gordon, and Isidore and Ida Strauss, co-owners of Macy's department store. Titanic stopped at Cherbourg, France, and Queenstown, now Cove, Ireland, before heading into the open Atlantic. As Titanic cruised westward, wireless operators received at least 6 iceberg warnings from nearby ships between April 12th and 14th. Despite this, the Titanic continued at near maximum speed, 22 knots. Captain Edward John Smith, a veteran sailor, on his final voyage before retirement, maintained course. It was believed nothing could sink the Titanic. On the night of April 14th, 1912, the Atlantic was calm. Too calm. At 11:40 p.m., lookouts Frederick Fleet and Reginald Lee spotted a dark shape ahead. "Iceberg! Right ahead!" Fleet shouted. First Officer William Murdoch ordered the ship to turn hard to port and engines reverse, but it was too late. Titanic grazed the iceberg along its starboard side. Beneath the surface, steel plates buckled, opening a series of compartments to the sea. At first, few understood the danger. The ship's orchestra continued playing. Stewards urged calm. But within the hour, water was pouring in faster than pumps could remove it. Titanic had lifeboats for only 1,178 people, far short of the number on board. Class divisions became deadly. First-class passengers were escorted to lifeboats, while many third-class passengers struggled to reach the upper decks due to locked gates and confusion. Some acts of bravery shone through. Chief Baker Charles Jowen helped load lifeboats, then swam for 2 hours in freezing waters and survived. Elderly couple Isidore and Ida Strauss refused to be separated and perished together. Bandleader Wallace Hartley and his musicians played to the very end. By 2:18 a.m., the Titanic's stern lifted high into the night sky. Lights flickered and went out. Moments later, the ship broke in two. At 2:20 a.m., the Titanic sank beneath the Atlantic, plunging over 1,500 souls into the freezing water. Most died within minutes of hypothermia. The distress call was heard by the RMS Carpathia, which raced through the night. Arriving around 4 a.m., it rescued 705 survivors. The world awoke to shock and grief. News of the disaster dominated headlines. Public outrage led to new maritime laws. Lifeboats for all passengers became mandatory. 24-hour radio watches were enforced. The International Ice Patrol was formed to monitor iceberg threats. For decades, Titanic remained a ghost ship beneath the waves. In 1985, oceanographer Dr. Robert Ballard located the wreck nearly 12,500 feet below the surface. Rusting but majestic, the remains of Titanic still lie there today, a solemn reminder of what was lost. Countless books, films, and museums continue to honor her story. But beyond the spectacle, Titanic reminds us of human error, bravery, and the fragile line between pride and peril. Titanic was more than just a ship. She was a dream. Magnificent, ambitious, and tragically flawed. Though she now sleeps beneath the sea, her story continues to echo across generations. This is not just the story of how the Titanic died. It is a story of how humanity lives, remembers, and learns. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss out any interesting videos. See you in the next video.